Okay, so figured I'd just do the video intro here at home for a change. It's a little bit quieter. There's not as much ambient noise as the gym. And I'm wearing a hat. I don't want to because I know I look like you know who, or I look like I'm trying to look like you know who, but after a few of the comments on some of the previous videos about the audio not being that good, I figured, you know what, I'm just going to do it because it does improve the audio quality. And not just that, it makes the audio consistent because the proximity of your voice or your mouth isn't moving away from the microphone at different points throughout the video. Like if I'm recording with the mic on my shirt like I usually do, if I am, say, turning my head like this and still talking, you're going to get like a amplified volume at certain points or certain periods, and then a softer kind of voice at other periods throughout the video, throughout the clip when I'm moving. So I just figured to standardize it, like keep it all kind of at the same number of decibels. I'll just clip it to a hat and I'll wear a hat like I used to do, but it's going to be quite hot in the gym when I do that. I'm just going to have to deal with it though. So I'm just about to have my pre-workout meal. Recently my calories or my carbs got increased, so coach put my baseline carbs up to just over 900. So instead of having the same calories or the same macro targets Monday through Sunday, which I have been doing up until this point in my off season, I'm going to do a calorie cycling or carb cycling approach now. And the reason for that is purely digestion and appetite related, because I'm just struggling to get my food in, guys, basically. And so instead of just having to have a same kind of like fixed carbohydrate intake day in, day out, I'm going to stagger it and have 2 high days and then 4 base days and then 1 low day. So the low days are my rest day. The base days are on every training day except for my 2 priority training days, and then the high days are on my priority training days. So protein staying constant or consistent through the whole week, 350 protein Monday through Sunday. Carbohydrates on my high days are going to be 1500, so 1500 grams of carbs on my 2 high days. And then on my base days, it's going to be 700 carbs. And then on my low day, it's 500 or 600 carb. I have to check. So that's pretty much how I'm approaching it. And then my fats are very low on my high days. On my 1500 carb days, my fats are only 35 grams. And then on my 700-ish gram carb days, my base days, my fats are around 50, I believe. And then on my on my low day, my low carb day, fats are around 115, I think. So that's how I'm doing it. And again, like I said, purely for appetite reasons. I mean, I know people go on about the nutrient petitioning benefits of it and stuff like that. And yeah, there is likely some minimal benefit in that regard. It's a big reason why I do like to cycle people's carbohydrate intake and calorie intake throughout an off-season phase. If they're a serious bodybuilder, I do think that there is a little merit in terms of preserving insulin sensitivity and improving overall nutrient petitioning throughout the week, and helping to kind of, I suppose, prevent excessive fat gain in the surplus. Mind you, a lot of that will come down to the actual size of the calorie surplus, but I do think staggering carbohydrate intake a little bit in accordance to one's energy requirements throughout the week does have a bit of merit. So I like to do it, but for my reason, specifically for me, it's not to necessarily offset unwanted negative changes to body composition, but rather just to help with my appetite so I can actually hit my total calorie needs at the end of the week, instead of having the same fixed numbers Monday through Sunday and actually falling short as a result of that. So yeah, basically I'm going to have a Innodose Digest down this pre-workout meal, which is now, since I've changed my nutrition, I guess you could say, with the calorie cycling, carb cycling, it's 125 grams of cooked weight chicken breast. So ground chicken breast, 125 grams cooked weight, 250 grams cooked weight rice, 80 grams of banana, and I've got 30 grams of honey and a bit of salt and pepper. So usually I put a bit of cinnamon on this too if I have it, but I'm out of cinnamon at the minute, so this is what it is. Again, I'm just using a lot of honey, banana, that sort of thing to try reduce the overall volume of the meal. If I just use white rice without the honey and stuff, I find that I need a lot more, and I don't like to have a big chunk of food sitting in my stomach when I train. I like to have the lower volume meal, and I also like to still make sure that I'm getting predominantly minimally processed micronutrient dense whole foods throughout my day to meet my calorie needs, or not necessarily micronutrient dense, but just minimally processed whole foods, because white rice isn't really micronutrient dense, but it's just an easily digestible carbohydrate source for me. And it's cheap, so I'll have a digest aid by Inodose. I'll eat this. I'll watch there's a new interview with, who is it? Jordan Challo, the muscle doc, and Vigorous Steve. So I'll probably watch that while I eat this, dive into some emails that I have to get done that have basically been there since the weekend. I responded to them, but I just haven't gotten around to sending one email out, so I need to go do that. Yeah, food, podcast, then emails, and then it'll be off to the gym, and I'll see you guys there. Okay. Yeah, the edema is still there. So I failed to mention before, when I was at home, before I came to the gym here, that yesterday it was like a day completely off plan food wise. It was just off plan in every single possible way. I mean, I missed my final training session for the week. I didn't eat anything according to plan. I missed my daily cardio. I didn't even hit my step target. Like, it was my personal definition of a terrible day, but in saying that, it was for a good reason. I caught up with some friends at their house for a housewarming party yesterday. And so, yeah, I had McDonald's for the first time in, I think, 6 years. Might have been even 7 years. And I tell you now, I do not miss McDonald's, I tell you that much. But I had McDonald's for breakfast. I didn't hit my water target. My electrolyte intake was all over the place. And I got a real bad case of edema. It just started, I suppose, setting in around like late morning. And then it got worse and worse. It just progressed. It got worse and worse as the day went on. I even tried to have a bit of a nap at my friend's place and lay down on the couch, and it didn't really do anything. So, yeah, it got to the point where it was really bad. Like, I mean, I'm talking probably the worst I've had edema before. And we're in the taxi in the cab on the way back home. It's a two-hour drive on the way home. And I was just flipping out. I was starting to have a panic attack. I was getting really anxious. And it's embarrassing because I was with a lot of friends on the taxi heading home. And, I mean, yeah, they probably would have understood. But it doesn't justify, I suppose, how I acted. And it was pretty embarrassing, to be honest. Like, I was incredibly anxious. I was flipping out big time. But it was just because of those things. I wasn't sure what the cause was, because there were so many things that were obviously off that day. And I thought to myself, what if it's something serious? And then I just spiraled out of control mentally in my own head. And yeah, I just kind of lost the plot by the end of the night. But after having a decent night's sleep last night, not in terms of like quality, but just a decent amount of sleep, because I only got an hour and a half sleep prior to yesterday. So I think the lack of sleep, being on my feet a lot more, irregular electrolyte intake, irregular fluid intake, and then just having off-plan foods throughout the entire day, they were all just contributing factors to it. And then obviously being less active, not hit my step target or doing my cardio. So it was just a complete clusterfuck, to be honest. Self-inflicted, my fault, and I should have handled shit better than I did. But in hindsight, all I can really do is reflect on the past and what happened, and just make sure that I do better in the future. Better as in, like, keep my composure and keep my shit together. That's basically what I mean. I don't mean deviating from plan. Like, it was for a good reason. Like, it was good to catch up with my friends, and I don't regret it. I just regret the way I acted afterwards. But at the end of the day, we're humans, we make mistakes, shit happens, and you just got to kind of turn a new page and move on. So yeah, just today's a new day. Calves, chest and triceps, and side delts technically, but I'm considering moving side delts because it's only one exercise to my back and bicep day where I hit the rear delts, and just doing back delts and biceps. Probably just going to be a bit easier, to be honest. Having 3 body parts on each day as opposed to 4 on one and 3 on the other, it just makes more sense. So yeah, 3 of these. Oh, but what I was saying is I completely blanked. It resolved itself 90% overnight, so there's only a little bit of kind of lingering edema. So hopefully one more night, one more day of ticking the boxes, and things are back to square one. back to normal. So I've been heavy this week, 245 pound up from 225, I believe, yeah, up from 225, and I'll just aim for slightly less reps if that makes sense. That was a lot more than I expected to get, so that was good. Bit of a rest, and then I'll do the next set. Yeah. Okay. All right. Second one. Three more. I call myself phantom scrolling on my phone, man. I need to get out of the habit of using my phone and start bringing a notebook to the gym with me again. Just use my phone for music, because as soon as I use it for anything else, I find I just jump straight onto Instagram and just start phantom scrolling. It's a bad habit. I'm not going to try find the foam roller. It's somewhere else in the gym tonight. Usually it's next to this machine, but I can't be asked looking for it. So it just means I might have to increase the weight, because I did get a little bit of a bigger range of motion last week when I was using the foam roller running down my spine just between me and the pad here. But yeah, without that I might be a little bit stronger, and if that's the case I'll just increase the weight on the second set. But did one warm-up set at 40. It felt decent for a warm-up set at least. So I'll do the first week and set it the same weight as what I did last week, which was 60. I don't know if it's kilo or pound, it doesn't say, but just 60. Doesn't really matter at the end of the day either. If you pound or kilo, really honestly doesn't make a difference. As long as you're progressively improving on an exercise over time, that's all that matters. So as long as 60 eventually gets to 70 and eventually 80 over time, then it doesn't really matter, honestly. So I'll aim for at least the same number of reps as I got last week at this weight, because realistically I should be able to hit that with a slightly shorter range of motion. And then if I got more in the tank, I'll go for more. If I max out the rep range, however, like I said, I'll just bump the weight up, bump it up to 70. Yeah. I had this like ulcer on the inside of my lip, my bottom lip, like for the past, I want to say, week or so. God, it's frustrating. Still got one rep before I max out the rep range, so I think it's appropriate. I can keep it at this weight for today, despite the cut back in range of motion. Just have to really focus on getting a good stretch, a good squeeze. It should be more than sufficient, at least for this week. Of course, might be a different story next week. Might have to get a second Gatorade as well. I'm a little bit behind on food today, and I'm not proud of it. I'm really hard on myself when I do fall behind in food, or anything for that matter of fact. If I do anything less than my best, I do tend to beat myself up a bit about it. And I know not everybody's like that. Some people are better at going easier on themselves. I'm just not one of those people. I will berate myself till all ends if I slip up in any way, shape or form. Is it healthy? Do I condone it? Definitely not. But it's just the way I am, so I suppose, yeah. Not much else to say on that. But what I was getting at is, seeing as I am a meal behind today, it wouldn't hurt having 2, possibly even 3 Gatorades in this session. Easy, 90 carbohydrates if I do that. Time for set number 2. Actually, I might get some music going. Ever since I saw In Flames live the other week. I don't know if I mentioned that or I did in one of last week's videos, but I think I'm probably not going to get around to editing last week's videos and uploading them, I'll be honest. It's probably going to be the next video after the chest and tricep video from last week. But I saw my favourite band live last week on Wednesday night, In Flames, and it was awesome. But ever since then I've just been really digging the music, more than usual. So I might put some of the music on while I train. Find a good song. Their older stuff's definitely better, I'll tell you that. I don't mind In Flames new stuff, but their old tracks, like I'm talking anything from, I suppose, 2006 or before. 2006, in my opinion, was when they kind of sold out a little bit. They became very mainstream, commercialized. But my favourite album from all of their albums would have to be a tie between Horacle and Reroute to Remain. We're going to put Reroute to Remain on because it has my favourite song, Cloud Connected. Oh, that was good. One more of these, then I believe it's the incline press, incline Smith press. And from there, shit, what is it from there? Can't remember. I've got 4 chest exercises there. So 3 chest exercises after one more set of these, then it'll be on to the triceps work. I'm pretty certain I'm going to move side delts to my back and re-delt bicep day tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, because I've changed the order. I do chest, triceps, legs, back, shoulders, biceps. Yeah. Oh. See how this warm-up set feels? Probably have to play around with the positioning of the seat, or the bench I should say. Legs are so itchy. I swear I just get some sort of like allergic reaction to one of the plants walking to the gym on the way here or to the gym itself. Some sort of like bacteria maybe in the gym. Who knows? It's not pleasant though. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move the bench back a notch. There we go. Just a smidge more. That should be perfect. Yeah, that's good. Oh. So do a few more reps at that, then I'll bump up to the working weight for the first set, which will be 2 plates per side. Or so without the weight of the machine, 180 pound. Yeah. No. Yes. 90. Yeah, 180 pound without the bar. I think that's right. Yeah. Don't know why I had to think about that so much. So if there's a bar, 2 plates, it'll be 225. Yeah, that's right. So 180 pound. After this is at 180 pounds. It's like way less. This is like 90. Oh. Alright. Time for the first working set. Yeah, and like I've said in previous weeks, I'm not aiming to hit a PB on this every week. I just slowly improve on this over time. That's all that matters to me, because this is a high risk movement, in my opinion. I mean, last time I tore my chest, it was doing this, so I don't want to risk or jeopardize my health and the integrity of my chest and shoulders just for an extra rep. So, yeah, just leave 1 or 2 in the tank at least. Probably more like 2 to 3 in the tank. Still enough stimulus to elicit a growth response, but not enough to be as high risk injury wise. Second set, just a smidge closer on the grip. That first one just wasn't too wide, but just a little bit too wide for my liking. One more. If I get 10 at this next set, next week I'll definitely increase the weight. So I tried 230 in my last session where I did this, but I only got 8 reps, so I wasn't too happy with the quality of them, so I'll keep it at this weight for a bit longer. I wasn't quite ready for 230, even though I got 8 reps with it on one set. I think there's more kind of to milk out of this before I go up. When this is a easy, say 12 reps, I think it'll be time to bump the the weight up. When we get like 2 comfortable sets of 12 at 180, then I'll increase it to 230. After giving it some more thought to myself, screw it. I'll just increase the weight still this week, but just not quite as much as I did last week, because obviously jumping from 180 to 230, a 50-pound jump is pretty hefty. So instead of that, I'll just do a 20-pound jump today and aim for a good solid 10. Good solid 10 at 200-pound. So first 2 sets were 180, obviously. If I can hit out like 9 or 10 reps at this, I'll be real happy. Even if it's like only 1 or 2 reps of failure. Same grip as the last set, that slightly narrower grip. God, my legs are still really itchy right now. It's frustrating. It's throwing me off. I'm just thinking about that. All right. Yeah, that was hard. Might not have looked hard, but one more rep, my feet would have slipped and I would have just ate shit. So I had to end the set there. From memory, these felt quite hard last week. I think I only got 11 reps. Shit, I'm tired. Oh. My Apple Watch is trying to tell me it's loud in my surroundings. Shut up, Apple. I'll take that. 1 rep PB. Okay. Last set. Yeah. These plates have a tendency of like sliding off the edge sometimes, so I just have to double check that they're still far enough on the pegs. I don't want to risk them falling onto someone's foot. That would not be very nice. Still room for improvement, so I'll be able to keep that weight next week. Hopefully I'll hit a third set of 12 next week, though. Then I'll be able to bump the weight up. Yeah. On to, what is it, dumbbell pullover, and then triceps. I've really been doing a lot of messing around with my training lately. Only just occurred to me I actually moved pullovers to my second chest day of the week last week because I replaced flies with pullovers. So I'm not doing flies twice a week, but I'm still doing flies and pullovers at least once a week, just to get a bit of exercise variety. So it's actually time for triceps. Chest is done, and instead of doing a flat skull crusher, I'm doing a slight incline, because from memory, if I recall correctly, it's been a hot minute since I did them, but they did feel a lot better on the elbows. So we'll see how it goes. Still like a JM press fashion though. Oof. 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 That's better. Oof. 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 Oh. 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 Okay. Oof. 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 Two more sets of this to go, then it's the press downs to finish things off. Well, let's see if I can fix up my earphone. There we go. Oof. 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 Okay. So last set I'm going to do on the flat. Just see if it's a bit of a better range of motion. Because now that I'm on 3, I'll be able to gauge whether or not I'm getting extra stretch at the bottom on the flat. Like, gauge if it's significant enough to warrant going back to a flat or just keeping it at an incline like tonight. Yeah, hate to admit it, but that is a better range of motion, so I might just have to stick with the flat as much as I like the incline. Sometimes what you need is what you don't want, and right now at the minute that is flat skull crushers. So under the press downs now, and then all done for the night. Now that I've cooled down a little bit after the skull crushers, it's time to do the final exercise. Same weight as last week, just 4 my rep match sets. I believe I got 14 with 60, so I'll aim for that. 14 or 15 this week. It's my rep match sets. I reckon probably just hitting 14 here will be enough, but we'll see. Second last set. Oof.